Hi, and welcome to SoulCollage Storytime. I'm Anne-Marie Bennett from kaleidosoul.com. Today I'm reading from my book, Walking the Path of SoulCollage, which consists of 87 short essays all about how SoulCollage has affected my life. And I'm also going to share a card that I made. Today I'm reading from chapter 23, which is all about honoring Seena Frost, who is our beloved founder. She passed away in 2016. And this is the card I made to honor her. And this is the story that I share. Seena Frost was the beloved founder of and birth mother to the process that we call SoulCollage. On January 14th, 2016, Seena's daughter posted this online. Dear Seena, my mother and friend merged peacefully into oneness with spirit late last night at home with her family gathered around her. The day before, we had learned that Seena had been recently diagnosed with ALS and had gone into hospice care. It was both a shock and a blessing to know that she had transitioned so easily and quickly. She was 83 years old. I was fortunate to have met and worked with Seena several times since receiving the facilitator training with her in 2005. She was a humble woman. Even with her educational degrees and experience, she was continually amazed, surprised, and thoroughly delighted when she heard about the many wonderful things that facilitators were doing with SoulCollage around the world. She was also one of the most grounded, down-to-earth people I've ever met. During my facilitator training in 2005, we spent a solid hour taking turns telling the group what our next steps were for our SoulCollage work in the world. At lunch afterwards, I was sitting at Seena's table, and I asked her, "What's next for you?" I was expecting her to say something about how many more trainings she'd like to do or name a couple of national associations she'd like to share SoulCollage with, but her response was, "Oh, I'm going to go home tomorrow and do some more gardening." Ah, yes, first things first, of course. Another favorite memory I have of Seena is at one of our facilitator conferences where she dressed up as her own clown persona, Ms. Ann Thrope, a pun based on the word misanthrope, and entertained us all with breathtaking laughter. She had a lively sense of humor and was always encouraging us to take ourselves less seriously. She invited us again and again to incorporate humor and play into our work with our cards. When I joined Seena in Maryland in 2007 and 8 to assist her with the East Coast trainings, she met with me and Roberta, my sister trainer in training, afterwards to go over our insights and questions. I distinctly remember that she started each of those meetings by inviting us to draw one card randomly from our decks and to listen to what each card had to say about the training experience we had just been through. She taught me to stay grounded in my cards and to allow their wisdom to permeate all aspects of my life. In looking back, however, I think that the greatest gift Seena gave me, besides permission to make cards my way, was the gift of our SoulCollage community. Throughout my life's journey, I had been an intricate part of a couple of different organizations, an Episcopal church, as well as a few 12-step groups. But those communities had been anchored in real-time physicality. Our international SoulCollage community is much broader and wider, encompassing many people I've never met and probably never will meet. Facilitator Barbara Teckle posted an inspiring blog after Seena died. She called her entry, "Crying for a Woman I've Never Met." In her essay, Barbara wondered how she could possibly shed so many tears and feel such deep grief for Seena, even though they had never met. You might be wondering the same thing, but I ask you, did you grieve when John Lennon died, John F. Kennedy, Michael Jackson, Debbie Ford? In 1997, when John Denver died in a tragic plane crash, I went into the bathroom at my workplace and sat on the floor weeping for 15 minutes. I experienced a heart-wrenching sadness in 2013 when I heard the news of Corey Monteith's death. I had never met John or Corey, who played Finn in the television show Glee, but my heart felt connected to them because of the precious gifts that they had given the world and the joy that they had brought to my life. In her teaching, Seena renewed for us the story of Indra's net, how we are all linked through an infinite web of connectivity that covers the whole earth and beyond. Not only are we connected, but we reflect one another's light 1,000-fold. Think about this for a moment. If this is true, and I believe it is, then we can each go forward, even now, years after her death, reflecting Seena's light into the world. She has given us the gifts of wholeness, creativity, and deep trust in ourselves. Let us share that gift with as many as we can for as long as we can. May Seena live on in each of us. And again, this is my card in my deck that honors Seena Frost. And when I draw her this card in a reading, she has much to say to me. I hope that if you practice SoulCollage, that you will include a card for Seena Frost in your deck. And if you don't practice SoulCollage yet, please visit us at kaleidosoul.com.